Good evening. I'm Maria Corpus.
And I'm Andrea Romero. Here's what's coming up next on Panthervision.
Nice try, Cal.
It's a secret for now, but UWM will soon have an interim chancellor.
Ask students if they voted, and you'll likely get...
No flyers. No.
We'll bring you the Student Association results.
I got my hands dirty when I was a kid.
A seasonal tradition has students springing into action.
We already know the men's basketball team won't make the NCAA tournament next year. We'll tell you why.
And wait until you hear what music has done for her. All that and more next on Panthervision.
From the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, this is UWM Panthervision. A weekly newscast reported, written, and produced by students in the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication. And now, the news.
Good evening. UWM's intern chancellor will be named tomorrow.
UW System President Ray Cross will make the announcement. Callie LeCount joins us with details. Callie?
Thanks, Maria. The system president is charged with the responsibility of naming an interim chancellor and appointing a search committee. System President Cross tells me he has made his decision, but won't announce it until tomorrow.
Close right now, so.
Can you tell me how many you're like waffling between? Or?
Nice try, Cal. Very nice try. I think let's just say it's under 5.
Well, this doesn't air until Monday, so you might as well tell us.
It doesn't air until Monday. Okay, by Monday it'll be down to 1.
Okay, deal, I'll take it. Wonder fix that, or are you...
Cross tells me he hopes the permanent chancellor will be hired by the end of the year. And he used a baseball analogy to describe how UWM might land a major league candidate.
Seeking candidates that have the opportunity for some major positions around the country. So you can go there to an institution and basically fall asleep, and it's going to continue to do what it's been doing for years. I'm exaggerating, I realize that. Or you can come to an institution like this and be a true leader and make a difference, and take an institution like this to the World Series. And or you could join the Boston Red Sox and sit on the bench, and you didn't do anything, but you still went to the World Series. This is much more rewarding.
Mm-hmm. We'll cover the announcement tomorrow and bring you details in our next newscast, as well as more comments from my interview with Cross. Back to you, Maria.
Thanks, Callie. The latest issue Cross has to deal with is the effects of a proposed tuition freeze. Governor Scott Walker is proposing freezing tuition for another 2 years. Cross says he wouldn't have been surprised if Walker called for a 1-year freeze, but hadn't expected a 2-year proposal. When lawmakers in Walker approved a freeze last year, it marked the first 2-year tuition freeze in the 42-year history of the UW system.
UWM-Madison has a new provost. Sarah Mangelsdorf will start in the fall. She's currently a dean in the College of Arts and Sciences at Northwestern. Madison's current provost is stepping down after 5 years to return to teaching. The provost is second in command at a university.
The winner of this year's essay election is Ryan Sorensen. The election saw a close race for first, but someone came out on top. Sorensen led the polls with a total of 546 votes, with Lavelle Young only 13 votes behind. Ryan Dresden rounded out the voting with a total of 215 votes. The election showed just how hard it is to get students involved in campus affairs.
Claire Charchans shows us the voting.
Getting students to participate in the election is no easy feat. Many students don't even know there's an election going on.
I don't even know what it's like about in general.
Okay. I saw an email, but that was about it. I didn't really look at it yet.
No idea, actually.
Voting kiosks are available in the union, but very few students are taking advantage of them. Low voter turnout is a major concern for the Student Association. Presidential candidate Ryan Sorensen says it may be the result of the Student Association scandal last year.
No, I think a lot of students don't know what happened last year. A lot of students think that there is no more essay, but essay is still here. We've still been working hard.
Lavelle Young, another presidential candidate, says that it's hard to get the word out about the election.
Students are very busy, so it's very hard to stop every single student you see to try to stay at your platform and things.
Young stresses how important it is to vote.
Your newly elected official will be the representative of of the entire student body, and so yeah, our student government is very important.
In Milwaukee for Panthervision, I'm Claire Chartrand.
In all, 1,360 students voted. There are about 26,000 students at UWM. SA President-elect Ryan Sorensen joins us now.
Thank you for being here, and congratulations on your big win.
Thanks.
So what are your top goals for the upcoming year?
We have a lot of on our plate this year. One thing that we need to work on is parking on campus. We have a large student commuter population, and I think having a good conversation with all our newly elected senators and a lot of the department heads, we can figure out a plan to make parking more accessible.
Okay. And Ryan, what would you say to people like those in ASAP who question the legitimacy of our student government a year after it was disbanded?
I would say that they should probably read the law. The chancellor can only recognize one student government per 36095. They can't really pick and choose what lines they want to read or what rules they can follow. They have to follow all of them.
Okay. And finally, Ryan, only 5% of students voted. What do you think is the reason for this?
I think that the Student Association needs to put itself out there a lot more, and that's one of my goals that I'm hoping to do, make sure that SA has a good presence in fall welcome weeks, whether it's at basketball games or any sort of other events on campus, making sure students know that there is a student government here on campus and that we do want to work for the students.
Okay, so generating more interest is something that's in the works.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. Congratulations.
One student group says the election hasn't happened yet. The group Alliance of Students Achieving Progress is holding their own student government elections. They say the current student government was unlawfully formed. The controversy dates back to last spring when Chancellor Lovell threw out the election results and a board of trustees took over student government. ASAP will be holding elections next week. It's unclear which government will be in charge.
MATC student government is working to finish commitments for the rest of the semester. Adam Lilly has details in tonight's MATC report.
As MATC student body began their spring break, the school's student government was still hard at work.
Aye. All those opposed?
On the Friday that started spring break, the student government held a General Assembly meeting open to any students, faculty, or staff.
These meetings are very important to everyone because it keeps the student informed.
There's events that comes up, there's things that do come up that we talk about at every meeting. We do have the meeting, try to have the meetings once every 2 weeks.
Among the topics discussed at the assembly were candidates for the Outstanding Student Leader and an approval for the events budget for next semester. But a topic of controversy at the assembly was the approval of an end-of-the-year spa trip for the E-Board.
Basically, all of the E-Board members have been busting their back ends on.
They have to do like 6 hours a week, plus more. And they have to stay in contact with administration and the students all the time.
Student government representative James Baez was a strong opposer of the spa trip.
As representative of the student body, we're saying that we're much better than them because we're having a spa treatment. As a perk, I don't understand the perk part.
After a 45-minute debate, the spa trip was approved by a vote of 3-1. For Panthervision, I'm Adam Lilly with the MATC report.
While the MATC student government cannot make laws by its own actions, their recommendations are given consideration by the administration.
The men's basketball program is reeling from a recent NCAA decision. The team is being banned from next year's postseason play because of low academic progress rate scores. That means no Horizon League tournament or NCAA March Madness tournament. Athletic Director Amanda Braun says there's no single factor to blame for the postseason ban.
This is an incident of one student or one class of students. So over the last couple of years, they've implemented a number of things to improve academic support, to improve the way we hold our student athletes accountable in the classroom. And so we're continuing to do those things.
The decision is based on a 4-year average academic score.
The athletic department does provide academic support for all student athletes.
Panthervision's Shannon Roswitz has that part of our coverage.
There's a lot more to a UWM athlete than making a big play or exceeding their farthest jump. These individuals are juggling academics as well as athletics. Senior jumper Sharice Hewitt knows what it takes for a student athlete to be successful.
It's student athlete for a reason. That's why they call it a student athlete. The student comes first.
She attributes this positive approach to the support she receives from her advisors in the athletic department.
I go to my academic advisors for anything. If it's personal, if it's to have a good talk, or if it has something to do with the actual classes and stuff, they help you, they talk to you.
Assistant Athletic Director for Student Athletes, Kelly Denier, sees the impact they have on student athletes.
I feel very encouraged by the number who, whether they have a 4.0 or struggle, feel comfortable coming in.
The athletic department provides a wide range of resources with an individualized approach.
We work with those coaches and the student athletes to make sure basically from the recruiting and admission start of their career, we're engaged with them, we get to know them, and then help them meet all of the NCAA benchmarks that are required.
Despite the individual needs of each athlete, staff and coaches share the same goal. I'm Shannon Rosowitz for Panthervision.
We'll have more about the NCAA sanction later in sports.
3 Marquette fraternities are being investigated for allegations of sexual misconduct. The university sent warnings to the local chapters of Triangle Fraternity, Delta Chi, and Sigma Phi Delta. The university is giving no details on the nature or the time of the incidents, but did say that campus and Milwaukee police were notified immediately. The fraternities face suspension for any further breaches of the Student Code of Conduct. The 3 frats under investigation, along with 3 other fraternities, were placed on probation in 2012 for alcohol violations.
UWM policy requires smokers to take their habit outside. But is it the same for those who use electronic cigarettes? As Panthervision Blair Hicks reports, e-cigarette regulations are as hazy as the vapors they emit.
If you're a smoker at UWM, make sure you keep your distance. Since the smoking ban was passed in 2006, smokers have to stand 30 feet away from university buildings. But what about electronic cigarettes?
I have a Finn brand e-cigarette.
Faith Jones says she's unsure if e-cigs apply to the ban.
I found that there was absolutely no information regarding e-cigarettes or vapes on campus, that it was all tobacco related, so I feel uninformed.
And Amanda Dumas says the e-cigs could be used indoors.
Understanding, I thought it was just water vapor coming out of the e-cigarettes. Depending on what chemicals are coming out, I believe if it is just water vapor, then yes, they should be allowed to smoke indoors.
The Physical Environment Committee, who initiated the ban in 2006, says they will confront the issue. PEC Chair Leroy Stoner said in an email, quote, "The question of e-cigs has not been addressed by the PEC, which recommends campus policy on such matters. The situation will be placed on the agenda for the September meeting, allowing some time for investigation to inform the policy."
I think that if the university is going to make a decision about the 30-foot rule or whether or not someone's allowed to smoke it inside, they need to make an informed decision and not make it biased from people that don't smoke e-cigs or don't vape or aren't cigarette smokers in general.
In Milwaukee, I'm Blair Hicks for Panthervision.
The FDA does not consider e-cigarettes to be a safe nicotine delivery system, and many universities still ban the devices because they emit vapor with nicotine and other toxins.
Coming up, we'll tell you how some students are making a difference for their neighbors.
And we'll give you all the details on the basketball team's postseason ban.
That and more when Panthervision returns.
Minds can achieve anything. We make sure they get to college. Federal student aid provides more than $150 billion in grants, loans, and work-study funds to make college possible for anyone with a mind to get there. Because if given the chance, minds will do great things. Federal Student Aid, proud sponsor of the American Mind. Learn more about money for college at studentaid.gov.
The Surgeon General issued this warning because smoking causes lung cancer. The Surgeon General issued this warning because radon can cause lung cancer. Radon is an invisible radioactive gas that seeps inside your home from underground. Protect your family. Have your home tested. Call 1-800-SOS-RADON. Radon problems can be fixed.
Thanks for watching UWM Panthervision, judged Best Student Newscast by the Northwest Broadcast News Association. Panthervision is produced by students in the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication in association with Milwaukee Area Technical College.
Relaxing is not a part of these students' lifestyle.
As I found out, some students spend their day off helping others.
Weeds and raking leaves may not be how you would choose to spend your Saturday morning.
Can I get 3 quick strokes with that rake?
While other UWM students slept in, participants at this year's Hunger Cleanup were giving spring an opportunity to blossom.
Yeah, all my roommates and suite mates were sleeping in this morning, and I was up at like 6 getting ready.
Volunteering has become a lifestyle for some of these students.
It just feels like you're helping family, kind of.
This kind of work was once ordinary for Barbara Job, who grew up in this home.
Just getting the house ready for the springtime and for summer. So yes, I got my hands dirty when I was a kid.
No longer able to help her mom, Job appreciates the students' work.
It's just really hard for the older people to keep up with the the houses.
Instead of dreaming, these UWM students are out making memories and making a difference to the ones whom it matters most.
It's awesome. I really appreciate it.
In Milwaukee, I'm Maria Corpus for Panthervision.
This was the 13th annual Hunger Cleanup. It's sponsored by the Center for Community-Based Learning, Leadership, and Research. More than 300 volunteers helped 85 local residents get their homes ready for spring.
The dreaded Math 95 and 105 are being dumped. Instead, the math department is creating 2 new classes known as Math 92 and 102. They're making the change because the failure rate in the current classes is about 40%. It's all part of the Math Pathways program, designed to adjust the needs of all students, not just those with strong math records. The department says the 2 new classes will apply more to real-life situations, which should make the courses easier to understand. The change will take effect starting in the fall. Registration can be a hassle, but computers can simplify things. MATC reporter Steve Moser has more.
MATC's 2014 spring semester is almost at an end. Summer and fall registration starts tomorrow for all students. MATC offers students the opportunity to register for classes on Info Online.
Info Online and registering that way is definitely a great tool to have.
Okay.
It's accessible. I've seen people register on their phones.
Info Online can be accessed right from the MATC website. It can be accessed anytime and anywhere. This allows students to register for classes quickly and at their own pace. The site makes it quick for students to find available classes in the upcoming semesters. Students applying for classes should first meet with their advisors to go over their program plans. Advisors make suggestions as to what classes to take, as well as to ensure that students are taking the necessary classes to graduate in a timely manner. For more information and to register for classes, go to infoonline.matc.edu. For Panthervision, I'm Steve Moser with the MATC Report.
The class registration deadline for the summer is May 15th, and the deadline for the fall is August 15th.
Ann Matusi joins us with a look at our weather. Ann?
Thanks, guys. Let's take a look at today's headlines. We have kind of a rain sandwich going on this week, so we have rain followed by sun, followed by some more rain, unfortunately. Right now, it's cloudy with some showers and thunderstorms happening. The temperature is 68 degrees, our dew point's 40 degrees, and the pressure is at 30 inches. Throughout the day, we're looking at cloudy with more rain showers, a high of 68 and a low of 42 with a 70% precipitation. So now for the state lows, Rhinelander's at about 30 degrees, and Eau Claire's at 36. La Crosse, you see, is at 40, as well as Madison. Milwaukee's a little warmer at 42, but Green Bay and Oshkosh, 37 and 38, they're going to drop down to tonight. As for today's highs, we're looking at Rhinelander being 62, a lot warmer in Eau Claire and Madison at 69 degrees. La Crosse hits the top mark at 70 degrees, while Green Bay and Oshkosh are at 66 and 68, with Milwaukee at 68 as well. Moving on to tonight, we continue on with our showers and our thunderstorms, possible through 2 a.m. It should start to clear up around then. The low is at 42 degrees and the northwest winds are at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Let's see, looking ahead for tomorrow, yay, the sun's back. High of 50 degrees and a low of 34 with winds northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Moving on to fall. On the extended forecast, looking at the rest of the week, not very many good things happening. Thursday, we're back with the thunderstorms, high of 56 and a low of 45. Friday, we're looking at more showers with a high of 55 and a low of 36. Saturday, the sun's back again, yay. High of 47 and a low of 36. And then Sunday is showers with a high of 45 and a low of 35. So that is all the weather I have. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Ann. Sandburg residents are getting quite a deal on movie nights. Students have access to a movie theater in Sandburg Hall where they can enjoy a movie at a steal of a price. But how does the university pay to have these films shown, and how free is it for students? Panthervision's Kyle Zettel takes a closer look inside Sandburg's movie business.
How much would a student pay for a movie? $10? $5? Not at Sandburg Flicks, where Sunday night the Kevin Hart comedy Ride Along was free. Colin Perkins, a Flicks manager, says that not all titles and genres bring in the large crowds.
Pretty close between Frozen and Catching Fire. Pretty much for every screening, Disney, Pixar movies, for some reason, just pack the theater.
Ride Along brought in a nice crowd, smaller than the typical Sunday crowd according to Perkins. But as Assistant Director of Resident Life Matt Krause says, a budget like Flicks has will bring people in.
Each movie, depending on how much it actually is, costs between $500 and $1,200 depending on the year that it was released. So things like Nonstop will probably cost us $1,100.
With a budget of over $35,000, Flicks can continue to show high-rate movies and continue to pack the theater every week. In Milwaukee, I'm Kyle Zettel for Panthervision.
The movies can be shown for 5 days at unlimited times.
University shuttles are cutting back hours for the rest of the spring semester. Instead of being on call through the night, shuttle service will now stop at 1 a.m. on weekdays and 3 a.m. on weekends. Staff says the overnights are being canceled because ridership was low. Students who are looking for transportation during the overnight hours can use taxis, the bus, or bus. Stick around, we take you behind the scenes of a one-woman show.
And we've got the inside scoop on a former Panther stud looking for love on national TV.
That and more when Panthervision returns.
This is where powerful ideas lead to proven results. This is where you belong.
A strong, productive workforce. Building one requires proper education and training, not just for today, but for tomorrow. That's why for the last 100 years, thousands of successful workers wearing hats like these began their careers with this one hat.
Thanks for watching UWM Panthervision, Judge Best Student Newscast by the Northwest Broadcast News Association. Panthervision is produced by students in the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication in association with Milwaukee Area Technical College.
The Bucks have new owners.
And more on the basketball team being disqualified.
Kyle Zittel joins us now with sports. Kyle?
Thanks, guys. Any goodwill Jordan Aaron and his teammates earned from their charmed run through the conference tournament this season is all but evaporated. The NCAA surprised the team with a 2015 postseason ban. Panthervision's Ann Matusi has more.
If you frequent the Klotchke Center, you may recognize these shoes. They belong to Cyrus Alston, a junior at UWM.
I mean, I play at the Klotchke almost every day, so I know more than 80% of the teammates on the team, so they're kind of friends.
He sports fancy shoes, but he's not a member of the men's basketball team, so he doesn't feel their pain.
I feel that they deserve what they got. Based on being an athlete, the whole term is student athlete, so student academics comes before playing on the court. So if you can't produce in the classroom, you shouldn't be allowed to play on the court.
But the recent ban of postseason play has Panther fans talking.
I didn't even know there was a ban going on.
Or not. But explaining the ban didn't seem to help any.
Seriously? That sounds really, really stupid. It's like, I mean, coming from a guy, like, I care about my grades deeply, but grades aren't everything, you know what I mean? If your passion is basketball and you're good at it, it really shouldn't hinder you.
Nor did it sit well with the athletic department, which is why they sent multiple appeals, all of which were denied by the NCAA.
And actually, I guess Coach wasn't here when I first found out. He was at the Final Four, because it was that weekend before that all happened, of course. But yeah, we talked on the phone, let him know what was going on, and then per NCAA rules, once that official decision came down, we had 48 hours to inform the team.
Kumke said the team was previously unaware of the current situation, with worries that it would distract them from the current season. And they did not take it lightly.
Well, it was, there's a lot of disappointment, I think some disbelief, having just, had the season that we did, and all the guys on our team right now are performing well in the classroom and progressing toward their degrees. So for them, truly disappointing, given that they were not a part of this.
With 2 upcoming seniors on the team, this is definitely a heartbreaking end to an outstanding season. In Milwaukee for Panthervision, I'm Ann Matusi.
The Panthers can look to the 2014 national champs for a roadmap out of postseason purgatory. UConn credits the same NCAA punishment UWM just received as a springboard that led them to the national title this year. Penalties are not the only thing the NCAA is dishing out this week. Unlimited meal plans are now on the menu for all Division I athletes this year at the end of the unfed amateur athlete. In the past, the NCAA put limits on meal plans. And for the Northwestern football team, the unpaid amateur athlete could also be a thing of the past. Last month, it was ruled that the players qualify as school employees and have the right to unionize. The team will vote on April 15th to decide if they want to certify a union. In the NBA, where the players get paid rather handsomely, the playoffs are underway, and the Bucks finished only 23 games out of the 8th seed in the East. A historically awful season like this one leads to big changes, and this one delivered a shakeup at the very top. Herb Kohl, the owner for nearly 30 years, is selling the team to a couple of New York hedge fund billionaires for $550 million. The new owners promised to keep the team in Milwaukee as long as a new arena is built, to which Kohl says he'll pony up $100 million. The new owners are also putting up $100 million for a new arena. The former senator comes out of the deal netting a profit of more than $500 million. Another team is in desperate need of a stadium upgrade is the UWM baseball team. Despite the subpar facilities, the Panthers won 2 more games at the Henry Aaron Field this weekend, continuing their hot play at home. Last week, they almost made some rare history. The Panthers were 1 game away from tying the longest home winning streak in school history, but a loss to Valparaiso on Thursday stopped their streak at 20. The team comes up a month short of going 2 calendar years without a loss at home. More notably, perhaps, is the team's poor record on the road. They are only 3-12 away from the Hank. UWM is represented in the Final Four of a competition. I'm talking, of course, about the popular dating show The Bachelorette. Even though this season won't premiere, a 2004 graduate of UWM is one of the remaining contestants. So why is this in the sports segment? Well, Nick was a track star here, and his sister, Maria, a two-time Horizon League Player of the Year, still holds the school's career scoring record in women's basketball. Fellow Panthers and reality TV junkies alike can follow Nick's journey on ABC this spring as he competes for roses instead of medals. And that's all for sports. Back to you, Andrea and Maria.
I think you have a good chance at getting a rose too someday, Kyle. Performing in front of the crowd can make even the most confident people a little nervous.
But as I found out, performing a solo recital for 2 hours in front of family and friends is a different story.
McDowell, Dunhill, Brahms. For the untrained ear, these classical composers may seem like music that accompanies commercials or movies. But for junior Amanda Breton, they are one more challenge to overcome in her musical career.
Well, I guess I've been sort of preparing for it for a couple of years now, but you don't actually start intensively preparing the actual rep until about the semester of.
Amanda's clarinet recital saw her center stage in front of family and friends as she performed 8 pieces from the classical greats.
And usually we pick one main master work, and that was, for me, it was the Brahms sonata that I played at the very end. And that was my serious work, I guess.
Nuances, trills, and up and down scales are just some of the aspects that go into playing, but now it's more than just being able to play them.
It's not as much anymore, at least. It's not as much moving them quick enough, it's moving them quickly, evenly, and cleanly.
For Amanda's mother, this recital is a long way away from her daughter's humble beginnings.
When she first tried out for 4th grade, she wanted to play the flute. She just wanted to play the flute with all her heart, and then when they tried out all the instruments, she couldn't get a note out of the flute. But she played a perfect note on the clarinet. So that was her aha moment, oh, I can do the clarinet, I love the clarinet.
Amanda continued playing clarinet, even dabbling in the bass clarinet, saxophone, and guitar. Seeing that desire to learn was when her parents knew this was Amanda's passion.
In high school, she used to sit and listen to her iPhone or iPad, sit at the piano where she never had lessons, listen to Journey songs, and then she would play them on the piano without ever having lessons, and then write the music down so she didn't have to repeat it.
It's funny, I look back the other day and I'm like, wow, that's the wrong note, because that doesn't fit in the chord tone. And I wouldn't have known that at that time, so.
From Journey to Brahms, music will take Amanda through the crescendos and tempos of being a music major at UWM. In Milwaukee, I'm Andrea Romero for Panthervision.
The music used in Amanda's recital is picked collaboratively with her music professors. Other costs, including the venue, are paid out of pocket by Amanda and other recitalists. Thank you for tuning in to tonight's edition of Panthervision.
You can watch us on Time Warner Channel 14 and AT&T UVerse Channel 99 at 5 o'clock on Wednesdays and Fridays.
Have a great week.